So I remember, being invited for, parties, these parties when you have these things going on, you're invited for a party. And then, of course, there is food, there is drinks and stuff like that. And this thing has happened a couple of times post awakening, on my journey. And in those times, I've visited those things, those places, and I've eaten that food. It has made my stomach hurt really, really bad, you know. So I could say that this was a warning sign from the universe, you know. The reason why I'm making this video, I'm just trying to make you understand, chosen ones, that a time should come, if it hasn't come already, where you're going to be very careful and selective of the food that you'll be putting into your body. So you'll be much concerned about knowing your food, knowing what is going inside your stomach. Gone are the days when you used to be the party animal, you used to be that person who used to don't miss out on parties. There's a party there, you are there. You eat, you drink. There's another party there, you are there. You eat, you drink. Now, I'm not saying there's a problem with going out to eat with friends or things like that. It's not a general problem I'm talking about. But if you're a chosen one of the lessons that the universe will teach you is the lesson about food. Because see, you are a person who is on a completely different frequency. Your energy is different. And if you're not a person who is accustomed to cooking and preparing your own meals, eating your own meals, then you may also experience a lot of trouble the moment you step out to go and eat with different people. When I had those two, I think there was like 2 or 3 incidents when I went out to eat. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have any idea. The whole night I was running to the bathroom, the whole night until morning. Too intensive, I was very sick. I got those stomach bugs. Whenever I would cook at home, cook my own meal, everything was okay. When I would step outside, there was a problem. I'll come back, cook my own meal, I'm okay, I'm all right. I step outside, there was a problem. Now, you see, one of the things you realize, chosen ones, you will start to get a general awareness about energy. You will understand that food is also connected. Food is energy as well. Everything is energy actually, but food, that kind of energy, if you didn't put the right energy into your body, there's always going to be a problem. Now, there are some cases where it's unavoidable. Okay, you really have to do it. There's no other way out. You have to eat. So in most cases, it will be very important for you to pray. Okay, you have to pray for that food before you put it in your stomach. Pray for it to be cleansed so that it can go into your body and do wonders for you. But if you're a person who just receives a plate and you just start, eating and you don't even know what you're eating, sometimes there's people who prepare food and you made. Well, I've been a chef. I've worked in a couple of restaurants during my life, and I've seen what really goes on in the kitchens. There's sometimes when people are cooking, these chefs and stuff like that, and they are complaining. They are complaining about salaries. They are complaining about everything. They are complaining about their families. Now you are cooking food that other people is going to consume, but you have got a very bad attitude. I've even seen a chef who has sometimes contaminated somebody's food. I was the person who went to that person secretly because I didn't want them to know. I went to that person and I told them, listen, there's food that is coming for you to eat. Don't eat that food. Because I saw what was going on. It's like they had already cast that food. I've seen some of the most horrible things in my experience as a chef. So it's one of the reasons why I left cooking, because I was like, I cannot deal with this kind of energy. You have people who are coming. Sometimes they're even going to pay for that food. It's not necessarily that they're going to eat free food. They are going to pay for that food. But the food they are going to eat is coming from a person that has got very bad energy. Because you see, when you're cooking, Some people are what do they call it? They are cursing, they are complaining, they are shouting around, they are fighting in the kitchens and stuff like that. And now you're cooking this food, that energy is going to be transferred onto the person that is going to consume that food. Now, if you're a chosen one, and you don't necessarily have to be a chosen one, you just have to have the general awareness of this thing they call food, going around and eating pretty much everything. Most of the food that we consume, it is very important to understand where's the source. What is the source of that food? Who was cooking that food? Where did it come from? You could have found people who was actually, harvesting that food. There are a lot of problems, very bad people with very bad energy, and that energy has been passed on to the food. That is the easiest way the enemy can attack a chosen one. The enemy can attack a chosen person just through the food that they eat, So pay attention, chosen ones, wherever you are. A time has come where the energy has become too intensive that you can no longer just go out there and eat anything, So you are going to learn how to say no. You understand? Not in the sense that you disrespect anyone or something like that, but you're going to have to say no to some things. Energetically, if a person preparing some meal is not coming from a good place energetically, whatever energy they have at that moment is going to be transferred onto that food. And if a chosen one and you consume that food, it is going to affect you the most. Did you even sometimes realize that you may go in a certain setting? It's been a festival or whatever, there's been something going on, and everybody consumed the same food. Did you know that sometimes people can get away with it? Some people can go ahead and they can be okay. There's no problem with their stomach. There's no problem with their health. But only you had a problem with that food. Selectively, you chosen ones, you are the only one that got problem with that food. Everybody else ate the same food. Things was okay. You went and ate that same food. There was a problem. So I'm trying to encourage you guys to learn the whole art of knowing and understanding what you're putting in your stomach. You need to understand it is very vital for you to cook your own meals. But like I've said, there is some cases where it's really, really, there's no other option. So it is the only option you have. You can be in a setting, maybe you have gone hiking or maybe you have gone to certain destinations and there's no other way around it. So you cannot actually prepare your own meal and you're going to have to eat somewhere else. So in that case, you need to develop the attitude of praying for that food before you consume it. So whichever energy is around that food, you need to pray for that energy, that food should be spiritually cleansed before you consume that food to go into your body, because most of the times the enemy can attack you through food. It can be the people that are preparing the food. It can be the sources where that food is coming from, maybe the food where that food was planted or where it was harvested and the things like that. Everything is energy. And before food reaches your plate, it is going to go through out of hands. It is going to come from the farms. People will harvest. Somebody planted, somebody harvested, somebody put their hands around it, they sold it to you, and now you're the one consuming all that energy. So sometimes you may be dealing with energy from 3, 4, 5, 6 different people without even knowing it. Everything is energy, chosen ones, and so is food. If it's going into your stomach, you need to be prepared and you need to know that you have got to take care of your temple. Your body is your temple. So whatever it is your body is consuming, everything that is going inside of your body should be prayed for. You should pray. If it's necessary, like I've said, it is the only option. Make sure that you do pray for the food. If it's also possible, then it is better to avoid everything at all. Just be at home, cook your own meals. So one of the things you realize as a chosen one along your journey, you're going to stop moving out and about and just eating everything. You will be very conscious about food. You are going to be very aware and conscious about food and this energy of food. So you will no longer have the same experience you had before where you just roam around the whole place and you're eating there and then sometimes you eat there. There are sometimes these neighbors who come around, oh, I cooked this one and I want you to have it and stuff like that. In the society, we have that thing in society where sometimes you might have a neighbor, they have prepared, they cooked, they baked a cake and stuff like that, and they came and gave you a piece and things like that. So personally, this is my own experience. I do not dictate what you need to do with your own personal life. I'm just giving you some advice. I do not accept any food from anyone. I only eat in outside of home when that is the only option I have. There's no other option, there's nothing else to do, then I can always eat outside. But normally, it's always very vital to take some few seconds or minutes and bless that food. Pray for that food and bless that food. Even in all religions that we know in the world, any food that you get on your plate, the very first thing you do is to bless that food. So remember to pray, just once before you eat. But if it's avoidable, then it's advisable, don't eat outside. Come at home, buy your own meals, pray for that food, cook your own meals so that you will actually be able to understand what is really going into your stomach. Because if you really go around eating anywhere, it is very likely you're going to end up in problems and you're going to get problems with your stomach. The enemy can also attack you through food. Okay? So let us know what you think about this video. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.